welcome to my channel, and if it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining in, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. So I did a very glam, neutral kind of look today. Went with brown eyeshadow, really nice heavy lashes, and a really nice nude lip. Now I have been doing like hundreds of one-on-ones with Lake Sanu. I'll link her Instagram because I couldn't do this on my own, let me not lie. But she's amazing, but I'm gonna show you what I learned, so make sure you keep watching and learn how to achieve this glam look. Thank you. So I've currently put on a little bit of foundation before I knew that I was supposed to actually be filming a video. So I have gone and mixed Spice Rum and Tiramisu just because I can't find my colour in Too Faced. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I absolutely love Too Faced. And when I say Too Faced is amazing, I always mean old Too Faced. And when I say old Too Faced, I think people get so confused. But this is the one I'm talking about on camera, right? So I used Spice Rum, and I've also gone with Tiramisu. And I actually just mix it on the back of my hand. I know some people like to use like those fancy plates and things, but like, sure, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna mix it on my hand, just like this. Like that, and I mix it with my finger, and then I just use a beauty blender. I know some people like using brushes and stuff, but I feel like sometimes personally I can just get a cleaner application using my beauty blender, and I can kind of control exactly where I'm putting the product. So I mix it on the back of my hand, and I just dab it really, really lightly, and that's why I like using beauty blenders, because I feel that I can get exactly where I want, like what corners I want. Because sometimes you can get brushes and they're real stiff, and it's just so hard to place product. So I'll put it all over my face, like so. And I feel like it's a perfect colour. I feel like I can never get like one foundation shade that's my colour, so I always have to mix. I think the closest I've gotten is Nars New Caledonia, but that's like my summer shade when I'm in the sun, but I haven't really been in the sun because we're supposed to be in lockdown, so yeah. I know some people don't put foundation under eyelids. I used to not do that, but then, I don't know, I just got used to doing it because my eyelids are like a little bit darker than the rest of my face, and I just feel like it just gives my whole face like a one colour illusion look, which is like what you're supposed to have with foundation. So that's why I like doing that. And I used to do my eyebrows last. No, I used to do them first, right? Because I used to think like people who did them last were psychopaths, because I'm like, how are you gonna highlight on top of your brows and under your brows after you've done your whole face and just have like a white shadow? But then my makeup artist, Lake, she's like so sick, and I just like watch what she's doing and listen and ask like a billion questions so that my face can look half decent. And I started doing my eyebrows last. That's why I have no product on my eyebrows, in case anyone's like, oh my god, why don't you have eyebrows on? What are you doing? This is exactly why, and I'm just hoping to God that everything works out in the end. But yeah, so this is about 4 pumps on my face, and it's full coverage. It kind of reminds me of the Nars that I wear in New Caledonia, but it's a lot like more skin-like and softer. Like I feel like I could put layers of this on and I would still look like really, really natural. Because it's important to like, obviously you want to cover everything, but you also don't want to look like you're caked on, because obviously no one likes that look. So what sometimes I like to do, just because my face is completely different to my neck. My neck is like maybe a shade and a half lighter, a shade lighter. So because I mix my foundations, Spice Rum is the lighter one. So what I do is just put it at the back of my hand, again, tap my beauty blender like so, and just kind of go on the bottom of my neck and my neck, so it doesn't like create, so do you know sometimes you see people going around and they just have like a line? Yeah, that's not cute. So I'm just gonna put foundation on my neck and hope that the lighter shade kind of combats everything and I look somewhat half decent. So I'm gonna line the bottom of my eyebrows. I'm not gonna fill them in, I'm just gonna line the bottom of my eyebrows so I know exactly like where I'm going, what I'm doing. So I'm using this pencil. It's the Eyeliner one in shade dark brown. It's like number 10. Show you what it looks like. And if you're in Ireland and you can get that, the other one I like to use is, I think it's Essence, that's the brand what it's called, and it's number 2 in chocolate. It's really, really nice. So if I don't have this, I'm most likely using that one because it's a perfect dupe. It's really cheap. I think it's about like €2 in any pharmacy or Boots. So I'm just gonna go ahead and line the bottom of my eyebrows. I'm gonna use a spoolie and just brush them up so I know what I'm doing. I kind of like a laminated eyebrow look, so I always kind of brush them up, or maybe that's what you're supposed to do, I'm not really sure. So I'm just gonna go under very, very lightly, right? And just lining the bottom. I feel like I can't talk while I'm doing this because you need so much concentration. I feel like I'm like sweating, you know when you can feel yourself sweating? That's how I feel when I'm doing my eyebrows. It's actually terrifying. Yeah, so I've gone and I've done them really lightly, and I'm going to do the other one off camera because it actually gives me so much anxiety doing my eyebrows on camera because it's so hard. So I'm going to do the other one off camera and I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. So to line my eyebrows and to kind of clean them up, I kind of mixed butterscotch. So this is the concealer from Too Faced again because I love them so much. So I use the concealer in butterscotch and I mixed it with mahogany just because it was a bit too thick and I wanted it to look as natural as possible, kind of closer to my skin but still kind of give like a highlight. So I mixed it with the foundation mahogany, which is also Too Faced. And just one thing I forgot to say, just in case anyone's wondering who actually hasn't used Too Faced, it comes with this applicator, the foundation comes with a pump, and it comes with this applicator. And then I blended it with my beauty blender, and my eyes always crease when I put concealer on them. I don't know why, I think maybe it's the shape of my eye. So after that, I just go in, I blend, and then I set it with either a loose powder, either Laura Mercier or my MAC powder and Mineral Skin Finish, and I think I use it in dark, which I'll probably show you, but yeah, that's what I use to kind of get rid of the crease. I'm going to highlight. I'm going to go in with the darkest highlight first, and this is Tarte in Deep, and that's it there. This is actually my first time using Tarte, but I've heard so much about it, so I'm actually excited to see how it turns out. Now, when I place my concealer, I'm very specific in where I put it, just because everyone has different shaped faces and you have to remember to highlight and contour for your shaped face. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit there, and I'm also going to go in with the same on this side. And with the concealer, you don't want to put too much on because you don't know how it's going to spread, and then once you put too much on, then you can't go back. Do you know what I mean? So I don't like going past there on my eyes, just because when I blend it out, it's just going to be a mess. And then I'm going to do my nose. I'm literally going to put the tiniest bit because this blends out so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and be very specific. And then I'm just going to do the top of my lip to highlight my Cupid's bow. And that's it. I'm not going to put a little bit on my forehead. I'm going to use the residue from my beauty blender because my forehead isn't that big and there's just no need for it. Literally, lightly. I'm blending it out. Go in really lightly. Like, if it's not taking you at least 5 to 10 minutes to blend out your concealer, then you're probably not doing it wrong. I mean, you're probably doing it wrong and you're gonna get really bad flashback. So I just go in slowly. There's no rush, like, not like you're going anywhere, we're in quarantine, so take your time and just blend it really. Like, see how that looks so natural, and I haven't even done that much work. I've literally just tapped so lightly, and so that's that side. and this is that side I haven't blended out. So I'm gonna go ahead again, very, very, very lightly, and being very specific with where you want the product to go. And if you're a brush person and you like using brushes and you don't like using beauty blenders, I would recommend ELF. It's like there's like a buffer blending brush that you can get that I will also use for years until I just decided that I like beauty blenders. You can use that as well. It's so cheap. I think it's about like maybe £5, maybe less, I'm not really sure. And it does the job. I actually still have it in my makeup kit and I use it from time to time when I'm a bit lazy, and it literally does the job. It's so good. So I've blended a lot of them. Still looks really natural. It's not as bright as I'd like it, but that's how you build up so you don't get flashback. And for my nose, I don't go in a beauty blender because I'm not insane, I'm not a psychopath. I go in with a brush because I like being really specific. If I use a beauty blender, right, I feel like I just get it everywhere. I feel like I just get it everywhere, and then what's the point? Do you know what I mean? You want to be very specific about where you place your highlight. So I'm gonna go in with a tiny brush, or maybe your fingers, whatever you feel like, and literally like just blend out really slowly. And yeah. So this is the ELF brush I was talking about. I found it. So it's the It's the ELF Flawless Concealer Brush. I hope this focuses so you can see. And I think it's about maybe £2, £3, £4. I'll double check. I've had this for years. And I've washed it so many times, it doesn't get like really bad fallouts. Because you know sometimes you get some synthetic brushes and you wash them and the hairs just start falling off. This is really good. So what I always do is, whether I use this for like under my eyes or like my nose or whatever, I'll always just sweat it. Now you can use any setting spray. The one I'm using is actually Too Faced. As you can see, I love Too Faced if you haven't noticed. So this is the Too Faced 3-in-1 setting spray. I think they have this in like there's like another pink one that they have that I actually have as well. Shake it, and I think this one smells like, is this the one that smells like cocktails? Yeah, this is the one that smells good. So I just go ahead, spray it, get it really wet, and just to make sure it's not too wet, I rub it against the back of my hand, just like that. Now, it's so important not to just go in and blend like that, because listen, like, we're not psychopaths, we're normal people, normal civilized people. So get the edge, literally like this, not like this, the edge, and you just want to go in so slowly. Like, this takes me a really long time. You want to go in so slowly. I see already it's blending, but I'm very specific. And this is how you get a really good contour. Sometimes I struggle, and sometimes it works out. But yeah, you want to keep patting. So obviously we're not there yet, but you want to keep blending. And even without I haven't put my contour lines on, and it kind of looks like I've contoured. And that's how you know you're very specific and you've actually done it the way you're supposed to. So I'm just going to keep highlighting, keep blending. So I'm just going to keep blending, like so. Look at me being a beauty guru. I'm so proud of myself. So yeah, just keep blending, and then you want to blend the edges so it doesn't look too harsh, because nobody likes a harsh nose contour, okay? So I think that's enough blending. If I need to go back later on, I'll definitely go back. So when I said about my forehead, I use the residue. So this is the beauty blender I use to go over my highlight. So what I'll do is literally just highlight my forehead with the rest. And by the way, I still don't have any product on my eyebrows. I literally have just lined the underneath. I haven't filled them in, so I fill them in last. Isn't it mad? I can't believe I used to fill in my eyebrows first. Like, look how good they look. I hope they look good. Like, so yeah, so that's my forehead. And I know it looks like there's nothing there, but trust me, there's something, okay? And that is my forehead done, and that's my highlight. So for contour, I'm gonna go in with, so I'm gonna go in with, let me actually put it in the right position so you can actually see. So I'm gonna go in with Fenty, and this is from her new collection in the shade Chocolate 06 Cheeks Out. And this is the way it currently looks. It's a bit of condensation. This is my first time actually using it, but I trust Rihanna, so I know that this is gonna work out really well. I'm also going to use it with her brush that I got sent. It's the Fenty brush so it's the Fenty brush in 125 Face, and it's really soft, which means that you can get really nice application. Like you can really blend it out. Look at me knowing what the fuck I'm saying. So you can really blend it out, and it just kind of gives you a nice, sorry, I was thinking someone was outside my window, but it's actually my own goddamn reflection. So yeah, this is really soft, and it just gives you like a flawless application. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna swatch it on my hand, just so you can see against my skin just before I put it on my face. So that's how it looks on my hand. And as I said already, this is the shade in Chocolate in 06, and I've just done that, which is great. Now with my contour, I like to be very specific, because with contour I feel like it can go really messy. Like if you don't put it in the right position, if you don't put it in the right position, it just looks messy and dirty, and then you have to like work like highlighting and fixing. So I just try not to. So I'm just gonna go in really silly, and that doesn't pick up anything actually. There we go. I'm gonna go in really softly, just because I've never used this before, so I don't want to go in too much, because I don't know what I'm working with. So that's the amount of product I've picked up on my brush. And I'm gonna do my cheek first. I'm so nervous. Okay. Does anyone still do that? I still do that because I don't know what I'm doing. And I just kind of put it on, but also blending at the same time. Product placement is so important. And now I know that I can go in a bit more because I know what's coming out. Right. So I see some people, right, and do their contour and they go like this. I don't know how people do that, because when I see people do that, I'm like, well, you've just literally put the product all over your face and you're not being specific, so that's not really contouring. So I just like to take my time, be very specific about where I'm putting this. So with this, I've noticed it's not as warm as, say, Black Opal. I actually like using Black Opal. It's not as warm as that. That's real warm. It has a real nice undertone. Where this, I don't want to say it has a red undertone, because it doesn't. It's just, you know, when you're contouring, there's two different types of shades. There's like a really warm shade, and there's just one that just looks like dirt. This is more of like, it looks like dirt, but in a good way, but it's not my favorite. Do you know what I mean? I feel terrible saying that, but because I don't know the makeup lingo, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I always say to my friends, there's two types of contours. One that's nice, one that's warm, one that's brown, and there's one that just looks like dirt. I'm not saying that this is dirt or anything, but there you go. And again, with the other side of my face, being very specific about where I place the product. And also blending as I go. Yeah. So I'm gonna go in on my forehead just a little bit. I actually like going in really heavy with like a bronzer powder when I kind of finish up my look. So I don't really, I do care, but I don't go in heavy. It's so important not to go in heavy with your cream, because creams are very hard to work with. Like, you don't want to be doing too much. So I'm just going to go in very, very lightly, being very specific again. don't do this. Do this. About where I'm placing my product. And you wanna kind of join it with your contour, so it kind of gives you like an awkward C, not a sharp C, like a very flowy C. It just looks more natural, and it looks like it blends if you kind of go in like that instead of just going. It just looks more like you didn't just put lines on your face, as my dad would say. What are those lines in your face? So just go like that. I might actually get my dad to do a voiceover with me. He hates makeup. He's always like, why are you wearing crayon on your face? Crayon. My dad calls makeup crayon. Honest to God, he's hilarious. So again, an awkward C. You don't want to be doing too much. We're not going to the clubs, or maybe you are. I don't know. Yeah, and you just want to blend really, really lightly with the brush, creating an awkward C around, and obviously not going too heavy because I haven't actually finished highlighting, in case you haven't noticed. I still kind of have to go in lighter. So you don't want to misplace any product. You want to be very specific about where you put everything. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to go back in and maybe highlight some more, so I kind of know exactly what I'm working with, and keep blending, keep blending, keep blending, because blending is obviously key. That's what people say, so I'm going to say it as well. So to highlight, again, just because I want like a brighter highlight, I really like bright highlights. I know some people just kind of like subtle type of highlights, but I'm not one of those people. So I'm going again with Butterscotch, and this is also by Too Faced. And I'm just going to go in very lightly, just because I've already put on concealer, so you don't want to go too heavy. You want to put on a little bit, and you want to be very specific about. See me, I'm really lazy, so the more specific I am, the less work I have to do. So it makes sense. Makes sense in my head. So I'm just going to do a little triangle just under my eye. And that's why these applicators are so handy. You want to be very specific about where you place the product. And just a little tiny triangle. I know Lake is going to be so proud of me watching this. Look at me doing my makeup all by myself. And then I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little dot on my forehead. Just a tiny one. You don't want to be doing too much. You don't want to be doing too much. And just a little bit on my Cupid's bow, because I'm trying to make it pop like Rihanna's. I love Rihanna's lips. They're so good. So nice. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to blend my forehead first, and then my Cupid's bow. I'm going to leave my highlight on my under eyes to kind of set, because the longer you leave it, the brighter it is. And as I already said, I like bright highlights. So I'm just going to leave that to kind of cook and set. I'm going to do my forehead. And again, tap really lightly. It's so important to not place the product just anywhere. Be very specific about where you put it. And you just want to blend, because obviously no one likes that back. Because I'm probably going to be taking pictures today, and I want to make sure that my makeup looks somewhat decent. So that's my forehead blended. And just light strokes. I'm going to go ahead and do that thing with my bottom lip. And see how nicely it just highlights it. I look like I have really nice teeth. And it's all in the illusion. Blending. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to blend just use my eyes very lightly, literally. You want to be lazy when you're doing this. Very soft, and don't rush. This is very important. And blending. I'm like so aware of the mirror, because I want to make sure that like you guys can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Because imagine I'm like this for the whole time, and then I look back and like you can't even see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm just going to keep blending. And just being very specific about where I place the product. And also that everything's blended. I literally love Too Faced so much, especially for concealers and foundations, because it just looks really skin-like. Like I've done minimal to no work, And I just feel like sometimes you can get some concealers and you actually have to put your blood, sweat, everything into it because it doesn't blend. I'm just gonna keep blending until I'm happy. I think I'm happy with it now. If I need to blend more again, then it's just a case of kind of going back because I haven't set it yet. And I know some weird people, there's some crazy people out here. He will set and then we'll put more concealer over it. I don't know why, I don't know the reason, but I know some people do it. So just don't set, just be patient. Like, where are you going to? There's no rush. Like, we're in a pandemic. Just take your time. You're not even allowed to go anywhere anyways. So just blend. Imagine this whole video I'm saying, oh my god, there's a pandemic. Could you imagine the outside is open by the time this video releases? You don't have to do this either. It was so ugly. But yeah, just keep blending. And don't rush, just take your time. You see already, I've done nothing, and it just blends out really nicely, really natural. So just keep blending until you're happy, because depending on like what concealer you use, I know some are tougher to blend out. So keep blending until you're happy, and then when you're happy, stop. So I think I'm happy with this. If I need to blend later on, I can just go back because I haven't set it like a second time. So yeah. So because I obviously really like really bright highlight, and bear in mind I'm going to take pictures, so I am going to go in with Nars in the shade medium / dark 2 in caramel. And I love Nars, love their foundations, love their concealers. I just love Nars. And so I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit, just a little bit. And it's so like, it's so smooth. It's like, it feels like really light. Like you don't have to work as hard to get it in your face. But yeah, I love this foundation. Did I say foundation? I love this concealer. So I'm just gonna blend it out again with my beauty blender that I've literally been using all day, that I love. Ooh. This is not easy. So, gonna go with my beauty blender, be specific, and blend. I don't know what exactly I'm doing. Could you imagine after all this, it doesn't even work out? I would actually cry. That is with my Nars in caramel, topped up and blended. So I'm gonna set under my eyes with Laura Mercier. This is the only one I use. I've been using this for years and I love this. So it's just the translucent powder. I know some people use like the cocoa version. I don't know what shade that is, but personally I think it's too dark for me. I don't like it. So I'm just gonna go ahead, just really quickly, and just set underneath my eyes so I don't have any creases. I'm gonna go in with my powder. So what I do is I tap and then I just tap all the fallout just on the top like that, and then I press the product into my skin instead of just like baking. Well, I am baking, but not really. I kind of just like press it into my skin like that. Someone told me you had to look up when you're doing this, and you can't look down. Apparently your eyes crease. How much truth is in that? I don't really know, but I do anyways. Doesn't hurt, does it? So there you go. And I do the same with that eye. I'm gonna set my contour because I've obviously had it a while now. What I like to use for contour is Morphe Showmance. I rave about this product so much. Like, I love this so much. It's kind of, it gives you that warm tone, and sometimes if you're in a rush and you don't have time to cream contour, I can say you can just go ahead and just put it on. So I'm gonna show you how it looks in Morphe. I use it in the shade Showmance. It's really warm, and it just warms up your whole face. Like, even talking about it, I literally am getting so excited. Like, I love it so much. I can't wait to show you how it looks. So you go in with any brush that you use to set your contour. I'm gonna try and show you as much as possible, right, on his mess, but see with one stroke how that has just warmed up my whole face and it just looks really brown, like really warm, and that's what I love about this product. So this is the side that I've warmed up, and this is the side that I haven't warmed up. And I've literally just went like that a couple of times, and that's it. And that's why I love it so much. And it's just really warm. So I'm gonna go in again on my forehead and try not to do too much because I'm obsessed with this product. Sometimes I get carried away. So just very lightly on my forehead, just setting where I've contoured with and where I want to warm up. Again on my cheeks. Imagine all of this and you can't even see it on camera. Do you know how annoying that's going to be? But hopefully you can see it, and it looks amazing in person. Like, do you still see myself? But I really like it. I'm going to stop now before I get too obsessed. Usually when I do my nose, I probably do it last, and I do take like a really, sorry, there's a hair mine. I take like a very specific slim brush because you want to make sure that obviously the slimmer your contour, the snatchier your nose looks. Does that even make sense? But the slimmer you do it, the better it looks basically. So I go in with a more defined brush. Because I see a lot of people take this brush and they just go like this. Don't do that, don't be like those people. So I'm gonna go in with the powder in Dark by MAC. You can't even see the logo because I took this into the Bella and they covered the branding. But I'm using it in the Mineral Skin Finish in Dark. And I'm just gonna place this tiny brush on the parts that I haven't set. So like my chin area where I didn't put like any setting powder or anything like that. So I'm gonna go in very lightly. And under my cheeks just a little bit so they pop a little bit, so the contour kind of really pops, kind of comes through. All the areas that I haven't set. A little bit, I'm just gonna go on my forehead and just down my nose a little bit. And just kind of set my whole face. That's that. And just set my face. So if you know me, you know I only ever wear brown eyeshadow, mainly probably because I can't actually do any other colours. So this palette for me is amazing. It's the Masquerade Mini. You can also get in like a bigger size by Juvais. And I use the colour in Zulu. It is this colour right there. And the reason I like this is because, you know, sometimes you have to worry about like the colour for your crease, and you have to worry about like blending. With this, right, I literally just go in like that and I put it all over my eyes. I don't have to worry about what colour I'm using for my crease, and that's why I like it, and it's really handy, right? So I went in a couple of times, just gonna dust it like that, and just literally put it all over my eyelids, like so. And I start by tapping first, just because it's easier and you can really work on where you're placing the product. And I'm just gonna go in again, just to fall out, and just going really gently and work on where you're placing the product. And with this you can kind of go a little bit above your crease, just because I'm not using a transition colour. Like, I know some people use like orange transition colours, but because I'm not using a transition colour, I can kind of go a little bit above. So this is with like a few strokes, and that's how it looks. And I like it because it's simple, it takes about 2 seconds, and it's handy. And if you want to smoke this out, which I probably will do, you can just go in with like a black eyeshadow, or like a gel liner, and that will do the job. And I'm going to do the other eye, going in with the product, and again I'm only using Zulu, tapping excess, and again just going in and patting the colour on my eyelids and working my way down slowly. And then again, just blending at the top so you don't really have any harsh lines, because no one wants that. And then again with this. So this is how it looks. I've no transition colour, just blending a few soft strokes, and here we are. I'm gonna go in one more time, just because I want it to look a little bit deeper, and that's what I love about this, is that you can just build up You can build up until you're happy. And I think I'm happy. I think I am good. And I've used the one brush. And in case anyone is wondering, just in case, what brush I'm using Doll Beauty. And it doesn't actually have any numbers. Or maybe I'm lying. So the one I'm using is in DB6. So Doll Beauty 6. And it kind of just looks like this, just a normal eyeshadow blending brush, nothing too extravagant. I think you can get this in synthetic and also goat hairs. I can't remember which one I got, I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, there. So my camera kind of died like blending my eyeshadow, but you only kind of miss that like a minute. So what I did was I kind of blended it a little bit more upwards and a little bit, I kind of buffed it out this way here just to kind of join it with my nose contour. It just looks nicer. So I kind of, if you can see, I went in this way and out this way, and yeah, I blended it a bit higher. So higher and buff it out around your nose contour. And as I said, I still went in with the same color, Zulu. So I went off camera and I lined my eyebrow. I went off camera and lined my So I went off camera and lined my eyes just because I can't do it on camera, like I can barely even do it as it is. So I always use Inglot in number 77. It's like a really dark black, like it's almost like jet black. And I used this brush, it's just, doesn't even have a name, it's just like one of those random brushes that you have in your makeup bag. I used it to line it, and then I also used it to kind of smudge it out to give a smoky effect. So it kind of looks like I have like two different colours in my eyes, even though I just used one, and I just kind of smoked the black one. So once you put it on, you just want to thinly just kind of smoke it out like that until you're happy with it, and that's exactly what I did. Off camera. So I'm gonna go in with like brown under my eyes, and then I'm gonna tight line it with black liner. So I'm gonna go in with my brush. Which one am I doing? I'm gonna go in with my Doll Beauty brush again, and I'm going in it's in Doll Beauty 14. So Doll Beauty 14, and I'm just going to use it to kind of smoke out the bottom of my eyes just before I tight line with black liner. And again, I'm using the same colour, and I'm using Zulu from the Juvais palette that I used, the masquerade palette, and I'm going in with this colour right there to go under my eyes just to give it a little bit more smoky. I'm going to go with Fenty Beauty in the, I think it's like a bronzer in Mocha Mami, and it's broken so I can't really show you exactly what it looks like, but I'll show you what it looks like on my hand. It's a real warm, nice colour. That is what it looks like on my hands. Really nice, really warm colour, and it's in the shade Mocha Miami. I'm just going to go in with my Dollhouse Beauty brush in DB Doll Beauty 14 and just kind of go underneath my eyes, just to give it that real smoky effect. It just looks so much nicer. It brings the look together. So just being specific about where I'm putting the product, just going underneath my eyes. And it's so important to then join it upwards, so it's just not like random lines underneath your eyes. And then I'm going to tightline my eyes with black liner. I'm most likely going to use the Inglot 77 and then probably set it with black eyeshadow. So I'm going with this brush by Sephora. I think it's in 32, I couldn't tell you, I think it's wiped off. But as you can just use any brush that kind of has this angle, and I'm just going to tightline my eyes. I just feel like it brings the look together. People who don't wear eyeliner under their eyes, I honestly don't know what they're doing. It's just madness, isn't it? So I'm just going to go in. I love it. Right, and okay, this is scary. Be so careful with this because it's so smudgy that like, if you mess this up, that's the end. You just have to cry and go home. So that's the difference from this eye and this eye with a tight line and with black liner. And I'm gonna do the other eyes now. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. Using is MAC. I also love using Raisin, but this one is How to Get Extra Dimension Blush, and I've recently loved it. And the reason I love it so much is because it has like a little bit of a highlight into it, so it kind of warms up your face and gives you that glowy look before you set, or even before you have like highlighter on. And this is it here. I'm not sure if you're able to see the glittery part, but that's what I love about it. It just has some glitter into it. It just really warms up your face. So I'm going in with this brush. You can use any blush brush you have. This is what I have handy. Just going in with it really lightly. It's not as pigmented as other blushes, that's why I'm kind of going in a few times. And I'm just dusting it, but obviously you still have to be really careful. Don't look like a clown. So I'm so used to like smiling, and I just smile so I can place it. And just on the apples of my cheeks going up. And I don't know if you can see the glitter. I feel like an idiot just like smiling. But I don't know if you can see the glitter, and it just really does warm up your face. But sometimes I actually go in with both. I actually kind of go in with Raisin and this one. I used to hate blush, and now recently I can't imagine not wearing blush. So I kind of just go like that on the apples of my cheek, really, really lightly. It kind of gives a really nice shine and a really nice pinkish colour. I go in again with Fever by MAC. Now this one is so pigmented, right? So you have to be so careful when you put it on. Like the tiniest bit goes a long way. And with MAC, their blushes, you could have them for years. So I'm just going to take the tiniest bit, dust it, and be so careful. Smile and apples of my cheek, just add a little bit, the tiniest bit. It just kind of complements your contour really. So I'll just add the tiniest bit, smile, and just add it on apples of your cheeks. So I'm just going to go in and highlight now. I'm going to take my highlight brush. This is a Sephora brush in Illuminator 93. This is what it looks like. And then I'm going to go in with my Revolution highlighter in Heat Wave. And these are what it looks like. Now I'm going to be using these three colors, mainly these three here, kind of going back and forth until I like what it looks like. So what I normally do, people might think I'm crazy, but I do it now. I actually spray the brush because I feel like it just sticks better. So I'm gonna shake this, and I'm just far away, right? Spray. But what you also want to do is rub it against your hand, because you don't want it to be too wet, because once it's too wet, then you're fucked, really. You have to make sure it's just the right consistency. I think it's dry enough. Now I'm gonna go in with this one first because it's the closest to what I like. Literally on the top of my cheekbone, very lightly. I'm just gonna place it there. Now you don't want too much. Nobody wants like a sharp line, you know, just blend it. Just blend it nice and subtle. And you want to make sure you're placing it, you want to make sure you're blending and placing, not just placing. So no one wants that really harsh line. And that's what it looks like so far. And I'm going to go in again for the other side. Just tap this one lightly, just off the excess product because you don't need it. And again, very, very lightly, I'm just going to place. And you can see how amazing it is. And I feel like what really helps bring out the product is because I use the MAC blush that had the glitter. So I think it does help, or maybe it's just a placebo effect. I don't really know. Either way, it looks amazing, so I do it. And I just kind of bring it up. I know some people mightn't bring it up as high as I do, but I do. I just like it. And I just blend it. As long as it's blended, I think it's fine. Blend it again. I might go in with a bit more gold. And it literally just brings the whole look together like this gobble. And it's just really pretty. Really, really, really pretty. I've done my lashes off camera just because it takes me forever to glue my lashes, and especially filming. So I did them off camera. I used the duo glue, and what am I going to do next? I'm going to do my lips next. I think I'm going to go for like a nudie colour, and I only ever wear nude or red, and red when I'm going out on very rare occasions. So I'm going to do my lips, and I'm going to go for like a nude kind of colour. I'm going to go in with Kiko, and this is in the shade 321. It's kind of really similar to chestnut. If you don't have this type right now, you can use chestnut as well, or any brown that you have. And also this NYX lipstick in the shade 06. You can also use NYX London, which is also really cute as well if you don't have this. And of course, Fenty in Fussy. You probably can't even see it, it's so small, but Fenty in Fussy. And I'm gonna line my lips like so. Just blending it out a bit more so there's no like harsh lines with the pencil before I go in. It just kind of gives you a full, I feel like when you do this, it just gives you a fuller lip. I don't know, maybe I'm just trying shit. I do anyways. And then I'm gonna go in with, it's like a lipstick, lip cream kind of effect, in the shade 06 like I said. And just gonna, a little goes a long way, so you don't want to put too much on, because yeah, just a little bit, and then want to go like that. And then what I'll do next is just rub my lips together, just so I know exactly what I'm working with and how much product I have on my lips, and then kind of tap it in like so. And then I can then kind of add like lip liner if I wanted to kind of carve out my lip a bit more, especially my Cupid's bow. So I think I'm going to put a bit more lipstick, lip cream on, just a tad bit. Just a little bit. Again, pat really slowly, and then this seems to work really quickly, because it does really dry really quickly. But when you have, when you're wearing gloss, it doesn't really matter because you're just going to gloss it up anyways. So this is in Fussy, in Fenty, and I'm just literally just, look how pretty that looks already. So pretty. If you want like a really nice pinkish shade, this is definitely. And if you don't have any of these products, you can use any brown lip liner, or NYX London. I know a lot of people have London. Is also a fantastic nude pink. So in the pencil that I used to line my eyebrows, initially it was the 10 dark brown by Eyeliner. So what I did was like literally brush them up again, which they already were, and soft feathery strokes kind of went upwards like that, and then kind of shaped the arch of my eyebrows the way I wanted it. Very, very, very lightly, just because I don't want them to look too heavy. And that's literally all I did. I didn't highlight the top that I usually would if I did my eyebrows from the start. And that's literally it. So I'm gonna set my face, and I'm gonna set it with Too Faced 3-in-1. Now, what you don't want to do is overspray, because the last time I did that, my makeup started like melting and it was literally running down my face. Because you know when you just want to do too much? Don't be that person, don't be like me, don't do too much. Just spray like a normal human being and let it dry. So this is the finished look. I've done my hair and came back and it looks somewhat normal. I think I'm really happy with the way everything came out. I love my eyes, love my lips. If you wanted to wear this going out, probably a bit of Night Moth and Ruby Woo and you're off to go. So thank you for watching, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribing, comment what you want me to do more, what you want me to do less of, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.